Coming up, we'll see a man back for a 16th NFL season. Eli Manning and the New York Football Giants as they take on Dak Prescott and the defending NFC East champs, the Dallas Cowboys. So with that, let's head over to the heart of Texas. Massive AT&T Stadium in Arlington. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with Eli Manning and the New York Giants. Calling the action from up top, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. We got an NFC East matchup here, CD. The most difficult division year to year to really predict. In fact, no team has repeated as division champ since 2004, 15 years ago.
And that was the Eagles, correct?
Yeah.
They went back-to-back. Well, let's be honest about it. The way that these teams match up, the way that they draft, all trying their best to win their division. Very similar styles. Eagles won the Super Bowl not that long ago. Washington, with good health, they were winning the division last year late in the season. How about New York with the Giants trying to make their move? And, of course, Dallas won the division a year ago. But this division is so interesting with Saquon Barkley in New York. Did you know that the caddy of Tiger Woods wore Saquon Barkley's jersey underneath his caddy outfit at the Masters in 2019 when Tiger won for the first time in a long time? Let's be honest about it. Saquon Barkley, he's pretty popular.
Dak Prescott heading out to lead the Dallas Cowboys, but it's been Zeke who's gotten most of the headlines. However, Dak's got a contract situation looming in his own right, Charles. He'll be a free agent at the end of the year. Jerry Jones has said that signing him is a priority, but they'd be comfortable playing the season.
Well, they may be comfortable playing the season, but you've got a quarterback who needs to be signed for the future. And when you look at what's happened in the offseason and in their own division in Philadelphia with Carson Wentz getting his contract, he set the number now. And I would expect Dak to get something along the lines of what Carson Wentz got. Remember, he has not missed a start since he's come into the league. Talk about Dak Prescott.
And worth noting, the Cowboys have won 2/3 of those starts and 2 NFC East titles in his 3 NFL seasons as well. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Elliott. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Well, we see so many good battles in the NFC East, and Cowboys and Giants, they rarely disappoint. They didn't disappoint last year. Cowboys got the better of the Giants both times. Week 2, 20-13, and then in Week 17, a thriller, 36-35. That was a game where Dak Prescott threw 4 touchdown passes. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. A first down carry by Elliott. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Now on 2nd and 13, Prescott. This one caught left side by Cooper. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. First down, Prescott. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Let's make no bones about it. On paper, they're the better team. They're at home. That's a strong opening drive.
And just think how many times we've seen this type of a matchup. Just what you said, better team at home should steamroll them. And we've seen it go the other way. Sometimes, though, they buy into it and understand we are the better team. Let's go out and prove it right now.
Extra point by Mara, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Eli Manning heading out, and a lot on his shoulders this year. For the first time in his career, he may be looking over his shoulder at what's behind him in the rookie Daniel Jones. And you think about that first preseason game, Jones was really terrific. And I know it was a preseason game, game number 1, but he was 5 for 5 on the lone drive that he had, leading the Giants to a touchdown. And he started to make believers out of a lot of folks who questioned taking him with that number 6 pick.
And there were a lot of people who questioned that pick in the New York area. You remember the newspapers after the pick. They really blasted it. Remember the fans. I think Daniel Jones went to a Yankees game, and they showed him up on the big screen. He gets booed, which is kind of a rite of passage in New York. But my favorite story was...
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. To throw is Manning. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. And the starting offense now for the Giants.
And everyone's going to be watching running back Saquon Barkley, the rookie sensation in 2018. He will draw all the attention now on offense with Odell Beckham Jr. now in Cleveland.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working from the gun, Manning. Open man right side is Ingram. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Back deep for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And before the Cowboys get going here on this drive, the big news for them all summer, if you're a fantasy player, I'm sure you've been paying attention to it as well. Ezekiel Elliott not reporting to the team. He's been down in Cabo working out. And Jerry Jones, don't laugh.
I'm laughing, right?
Why, because you don't work out in Cabo?
He's in Cabo working out.
I know.
That sentence has never been used before.
Well, how about this Jerry Jones quote? You don't need a rushing champion to win a Super Bowl.
And Zeke's camp is saying, okay, you may have to prove that. Because for Jerry Jones, he's saying, listen, we've signed Alfred Morris.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Kareem Martin showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Come on, QB, come on.
From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
It's so good to see big number 72 Travis Frederick back in a Cowboys uniform. Remember, he missed all of last season with Guillain-Barré syndrome. And prior to that, he'd been to the Pro Bowl 4 straight times at center. And his return, a huge boost to the offensive line. Better to have him in uniform than coaching.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. Prescott from the gun. Complete to Jason Witten. Dak finding his tight end Witten, and the Cowboys have a first down. Boy, you got to think that having the 37-year-old veteran Jason Witten back at tight end is going to be great for Dak Prescott for plays just like that. And you think to last year when Witten wasn't there, it was kind of a rotating carousel. They had Blake Jarwin, Jeff Swaim, Rico Gathers, Dalton Schultz. But Witten back out there and doing his thing again. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Prescott going right side. He has Witten. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And we look now at the defense for the Giants.
Jabril Peppers, a former first-round pick of the Cleveland Browns in 2017, has returned to his home area to play for the New York Giants. And he's looking for an opportunity to really shine. Sharp in returning the football on kickoffs and punts. The Giants believe he can fill the gap at safety for them.
Four receivers now in the formation. 3 to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 7. Now Prescott. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Now how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 41-yard line.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 41. He's got a first. The ball comes out, and the Giants have it. It's picked up.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Giants ready to get the football here again. And earlier we talked about Eli Manning, but he's got some big question marks in the receiving core. Of course, no OBJ. He's in Cleveland. But Sterling Shepard has a fractured thumb, though they think he'll be a go for the opener. They're hoping so. Corey Coleman won't, however. An ACL tear in training camp. He's done for the year. And then Golden Tate recently lost an appeal, so he has to sit out those first 4 games.
And all of that happened as we headed towards the season. So the Giants trying to adjust on the fly and get some more receivers in camp. But you do have Saquon Barkley, who can run it and catch it quite well. And the other guy who will benefit from guys being down, tight end Evan Ingram. If he stays healthy, he'll get a lot of footballs thrown his way.
They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
Anthony Brown there on the tackle. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Sean Lee is a linebacker with an exciting mix of tackling ability and coverage skills.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Manning. That's complete left side to Shepard. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. A lot of people thinking that this could be a good year for Sterling Shepard to step out of the shadows of Odell Beckham Jr., but a season ago, pretty good for Sterling Shepard. 66 receptions, 872 yards, and now hoping for a 1,000-yard campaign in 2019. They'll try to run for it with Barkley, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll kick it away for the second time.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Back near his goal line, it's Prescott. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. He's got a man, complete. A big play here for Dallas. 49 yards. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Five in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. He can run for it, and he will. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this won't get there, won't be on line either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move, the Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
So they tried the 59-yarder and missed it, and now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield. Manning now on first down. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Manning gets this out to Saquon Barkley.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. From midfield, here's Manning. And now the ball comes out. Manning lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Amari Cooper and the Cowboys set to take over once again, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And his throw here's incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Jabril Peppers is deep for the Giants. $51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5 up to the 25-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Shepard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Faking the give to Barkley. Now Manning. To Shepard, complete over the middle. The end result, 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now Manning. And he's hit and taken down. Eli sacked. Off the edge, it's Tyrone Crawford with a sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Manning going to hand it off to Barkley. Jalen Smith, who took a huge step forward last year, in on the tackle for Dallas. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Manning. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They start on the ground with Elliott. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. This is Elliott. And this Giants defense getting off the ball quickly. They stop him behind the line again. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Here comes Peppers. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And our players spotlight now as we turn our attention to Eli Manning. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. It's brought in left side by Tate, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. DeMarcus Lawrence able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Good open field tackling there, a 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. He's been really good in the yardage category, yet to hit the end zone, however.
A minor blemish against him right now because the work he's doing catching the ball, in some ways he's helping serve as good ball control because the big plays that he's making have really helped out his team.
Absolutely. They're winning on the scoreboard here in quarter number 2. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Prescott out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Alec Ogletree able to drop him for a loss of a couple. You think back to last year, Dak Prescott was sacked 56 times, second most in the league behind Deshaun Watson of the Texans. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. 10th carry now for Elliott. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He may try and run for this. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
And time to spotlight Golden Tate. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts, one of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards.
Partner, I think that play echoed a short yardage run. I know they were backed up against their own goal line, but when they stack the defensive line like that, if you find any type of a crease, you're up to the 3rd level before you know it.
So that last play gives him a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Shotgun now for Manning. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Saquon Barkley. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Here's Riley Dixon now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's Prescott. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games for the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Throwing, Prescott. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a 1st.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll run with Elliott. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. The give is to Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Prescott finding Witten, and on this one he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Prescott from the gun. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
Extra point by Mara, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Well, that's something we saw over and over again in Barkley's rookie season. He had 91 catches last year, most ever by a rookie running back. Part of a fantastic rookie campaign that saw him go over 2,000 total yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Manning. On the catch, this is Russell Shepard. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
First down now, but the clock continues to move.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
On first down, Manning. Throw left side complete. It's Shepard. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Clock rolling as the Giants will hurry to the line.
All day, dog.
To throw again on second down. Manning throwing the out route incomplete. It's Tate. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 32-yard line. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Manning. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The sack by Robert Quinn.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. To try again after the sack. Manning, and he's going to go down again. Tyrone Crawford picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Third and long for the Giants, and Eli following the sack.
54's Mike.
Now a play fake. Manning. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Aldrick Rosas now to try the Giants field goal. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And the kick by Rosas is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Remember with Rosas, there was some speculation last year in the preseason that he might not hold on to his job with the Giants.
But he certainly answered the challenge, didn't he? 32 of 33 during the regular season. 97% that is. And was named to the NFC Pro Bowl team. And by the way, at 6'3", 234, he can bench press your kicker.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Tate. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Manning. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
I feel like Eli Manning has just gone from downfield bomber to a guy who can complete everything.
He can hit him underneath now, can't he?
Yeah, we just saw that there with that pass completion. The maturity of a veteran, taking what the defense will give him.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I hope you got your left because I'm about to take you to school.
Here's Manning to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Well, Charles, while we have a moment, you know what we need to do here is give a nod to the new Hall of Famers who were brought into Canton and inducted on August the 3rd. Champ Bailey, Pat Bolin, Gil Brandt, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law, Kevin Mawai, Ed Reed, and Johnny Robinson, all part of the class.
Fantastic class. When you talk about guys who played at a top level, obviously they're Hall of Famers. But what I found interesting about it is you've got a great pass catcher, the best pass-catching tight end in history, in Tony Gonzalez. How would he like to work against his secondary? Champ Bailey and Ty Law at corner, Ed Reed and Johnny Robinson at safety. Good luck trying to get open against those 4. What a matchup that would have been. But it was a terrific night for those gentlemen. Congratulations. And, of course, Ed Reed's bust will go down in history because they got the hair exactly right. And Ed had a ball up there in his Hall of Fame speech.
And remember, next year they're going to celebrate the centennial year of the NFL with a special class of 20. So get ready for those speeches.
I wonder if they'll do it like Johnny Robinson this year, who actually submitted a video instead of going up to the podium. And his speech was about 5 minutes long, which is probably about the right length.
Throwing now is Manning. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Tyrone Crawford getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And on the left side, he's got Witten. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards, the final tally. Historically, Jason Witten, he's kind of saved his best for the New York Giants. In fact, the top 2 games statistically that he's had in his career were both against the Giants. 2012, 18 catches, 167 yards. And those 18 catches, still the most ever by a tight end in a single game. He also had a 14-catch, 156-yard performance against the Giants back in 2009. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Prescott now. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Caught left side by Cobb. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. The New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. From the gun, Manning gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll run with Barkley, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Manning. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Shepard. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Manning now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now it's Barkley. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Throw left side complete. It's Tate. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Manning. Open man right side is Ingram. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. Here's Austin. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent. Just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader. Making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a 1st down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Prescott now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Now Dak on the option left. And fights through 1 man. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the red zone now, Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble. That could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Draw play, Elliott. And this Giants defense getting off the ball quickly. They stop him behind the line again. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a third down and very long.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Prescott. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Tavon Austin, 33 yards. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before you get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. That's complete left side to Shepard. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
It's just me and you. Mine's 54.
From the gun, it's Manning. We'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Manning. Looking for Shepard deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there. Manning to Shepard. 45 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. This is Barkley. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
60 outlaw. I got one.
Faking the give to Barkley. Now Manning. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is Manning. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Made his first. This now from 42 yards out. And Rosas puts this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now Elliott, and he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They go to Elliott again. Alec Ogletree in on the stop.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Check. Here we go. Go ahead. Hey, me and you all 26. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. Complete to Jason Witten. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you're talking about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott. The tight end Jarwin with it out on the left side. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Check.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Here's Prescott. This is Cobb with a catch right side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Strong left, strong left, strong left. 4 down.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott. And an alley to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 32-yard line. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a 1st down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Elliott. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's got his target, it's Cobb. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 21. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for, but it's going to be second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
From the 21, it's second and 10. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today.
A 31-yard attempt.
The kick by Marr is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
After the made field goal, Marr back out there to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Working from the gun, Manning. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Manning looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Russell Shepard, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. The Giants do snap it. It's Manning. And Ingram hauls it in. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
on, set. 10 Lobo. 54, right, 54, all day, all day. Ready?
Manning to Barkley on the draw play. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. From midfield, here's Manning. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That's another gain of 15 on back-to-back plays.
Oh, he's got the full package. He can spin, he can juke, he can make you miss, he can drop a shoulder on you. Some of that elusiveness we saw at Penn State has definitely translated to the NFL game. Saquon Barkley hit the proper buttons and turn him loose.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Well, you throw it this close to the goal line, usually you're thinking touchdown. Here they actually complete it but lose yardage.
When you're this close to the goal line, you have to anticipate that maybe you're going to see a defense that you can make a case that there's 11 in the box. There's just no room. So I'm with you. You've got to find a way to push things downfield a little bit. Any type of space is better than what we just saw there. And that end result, not one that's satisfactory to them.
Manning now to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Rosa's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with Elliott. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. He can run for it, and he will. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rounding, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Man, and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. From the gun, Manning gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the first one for the 2nd one to even matter.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Throwing now is Manning. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
Here's Manning to throw. Finding his target, it's Cody Latimer. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Manning indeed going for it on fourth. And Latimer's got it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Manning going to come up on 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now Manning. He fights him off, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. To throw, it's Manning. To Shepard, complete over the middle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
To throw on 3rd down, Manning. They'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Manning looking for Shepard deep. And this is going to be incomplete. The Giants go on 4th but come up empty. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They'll run on 1st down. It's Elliott, and he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. Here's Elliott. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14.
They're running it.
Elliott. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. The kick by Maher is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
After the made field goal, Maher back out there to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he's hit and taken down. Eli sacked. Robert Quinn able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A well-executed 22-yard gain. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. One final try now from Manning. Now a desperation throw deep downfield into a double team, and it's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And he's going to go down as time has now run out on this game. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple, although I set you up by saying game balls, plural. But
I like where we're going with this. You say one to represent, like the best player of all of that. And I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.